Great. So welcome everyone. Welcome to our session. Today is our eighth session on prosperity. This is about putting prosperity into our chakras. So we will be discussing about how to talk about details when it comes to business or according to finances, and also, of course, details in our life. Okay, we all know people who worry too much, and we all know people who are over meticulous, and we also know people who are not organized. So this particular healing is supposed to cover all of that. Okay, so let's start with an invocation. Let's close our eyes, connect the tongue to the palate. Inhale and exhale slowly. Let us invoke to the Supreme God, Divine Father, Divine Mother. We thank you for your priceless blessings, for divine light, divine love, divine guidance, divine love, mercy, inner healing, physical healing. Thank you for the inner strength to practice regularly. Thank you for your divine help and protection, for illumination, abundance, and prosperity. We thank you. Let's do the soul affirmation. I am that I am. I am not the body. I am not the emotions. I am not the thoughts. I am the soul. I am a spiritual being of divine intelligence, divine love, and divine power. I am one with my higher soul. I am that I am. I am one with the divine spark within me. I am a child of God. I am connected with God. I am one with God. And I am one with all. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Let's be aware of our thoughts. Let's be aware of the things that we plan properly. So let's appreciate ourselves for all the things we plan properly. And then let's take a few seconds to think of a few things that we don't plan properly. Okay, and we'll get into the session from now. Okay, so open your eyes. Okay, so today's session is basically on planning and on being getting into details. Now, how many of us know that planning, for example? So a lot of people, at least in COVID times, some of my clients basically said, how do we plan? It's like COVID times. I mean, I don't even know when the lockdowns will finish and when COVID will be over, etc., etc., etc. Which I agree. However, planning is not just about setting dates. Planning is also about step-by-step processes. Okay, so I'm just going to use a simple example that I think everyone will understand. So let's say tonight you want to cook pasta in your house. Okay, like, I don't know, tomato sauce pasta. So if you want to cook tomato sauce pasta in the night for dinner, then what all do you need to organize in the daytime, right? Tomatoes, pasta, etc., etc., etc. Now, when you decide to organize the tomatoes and the pasta, you have the whole day, right? So what am I getting at? What I'm getting at is that there are steps. Okay, if you want to make pasta, you need salt in the house, you need some herbs, you need all these items, right? So what we can do is, even in COVID times, what we can do is we can plan our projects. This step after this step after this step after this step. Right now, maybe it's not time yet to put in dates, but it's always a good idea to have targets, and it's always a good idea to have end of year targets. So if you have those, and as we talked about it in session one, if you have your target from your current income source, and if you've listed 5 alternative sources of income, then you have a project in front of you, right? So what I would like you to do is that for your current income and for the other 5 projects that you have hopefully written by now, because we are now in our eighth session, I would like you to work out a project plan. What I mean is, in order to start that work, or in order to make that particular item actually an income generating item for yourself, what do you need to do first? Okay, so first, second, third, fourth, fifth. Let's just do 5 steps for now. And later on, we can put in the dates. Okay, so this is part of detailed planning. Some planning, actually, it's not detailed planning yet. So, in business, we need to plan in a certain way. Like, I have one customer who, um, or rather, one client who was kind of over providing inventory. Okay, he didn't have the orders in place, but he had a lot of inventory, which means that suppose this person is making clothes and they've bought like lots and lots and lots of clothes, lots and lots of material. Now, it's not a good idea to buy the material first. It's a good idea to first know the demand, right? Because with clothing, with colors, we know these things change, right? So every year, every season, we see a color change. You know, the shade changes, the style changes. You can't make clothes today and then expect them to sell them next year, right? Except for some clothes, of course. Yeah, but if you want to like make really good money, then you have to plan your project. So what we're going to talk about is also being over meticulous. So sometimes I know people who will work out the plan in some parts of the plan in a lot of detail, right? A lot of detail, like super micromanaging. Now, that's not bad, but if you're doing it all the time for everything, then it's not a good idea. If you're doing it for some things that require meticulous planning, that's great. But if you do it for absolutely everything, then you're going to drive yourself crazy. What's going to probably happen is that you will have a throat chakra, which is very, I don't know, needs help. A lot of people that I know, especially with clients I have seen who have thyroid issues, they tend to be over meticulous. Okay. They tend to be, is what I'm saying. I'm not saying they are, I'm saying they tend to be over meticulous. What do I mean? They have a lot of detail. Some things don't require that kind of detail. So we have to also learn to let go. Okay, so there's always a balance between planning detail and not planning detail. Some things need to be planned in detail, some things don't need to be planned in detail. Some things need to be planned in detail now while the plan is being formulated, and for some things that details are not available, or the details will be more relevant later. What do I mean by that? So let's say if you're in the fashion industry and you know that you have to do all these steps. Get material, get the dyes, get the buttons, get the workforce, the tailors, etc., etc. You have to get all of that stuff down. Okay, you need all that stuff. That's part of your project. Now, to plan the color, you have to plan the color, but to plan the color too much ahead of time doesn't really work, because in the fashion industry the color changes every season. So what I'm trying to basically say is that you need to find a balance. Okay, so in order to work out business details, what we're going to do is today's healing is going to focus on those chakras which are involved with detailed. And so if we are over meticulous, which means too much detail, then we will reduce it. And if it is not enough detail, then we will make it different. We'll expand the chakra a little bit so that the chakra is able to plan in detail. Okay, so if there are any questions, you can post them on the chat so I can answer them. Okay, and what else do we need to cover? Yeah, the other thing we also need to cover is, the resistance to change. So sometimes we get so involved with the details of our life that we forget that there is also something called change. Okay, so let's say I'm someone who wakes up at, I don't know, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Now, that's a habit. Now, if I need 10, 15 minutes more to plan, then I need to get up 15, 20 minutes earlier. But then if I program myself that, I need so many hours of sleep, and if I get up before 6 a.m., then I feel very tired, resistance to change. Okay, that means I'm not willing to change. Okay, so again, change is also important. When the marketplace has changed, when the job market has changed, the businesses have changed, we also have to change. So what we're also going to work on today is making change and allowing ourselves to be more creative, allowing ourselves to kind of look at the different parts of talent that we have and to put it together in a new way, right? Just like we put together, issues, right? Okay, what else? Yeah, the other thing that I wanted to say is, what about, wishing for, let's say somebody wants, 30,000 rupees to come in. Okay, you want 30,000 rupees. And so, and the only mechanism you have available to take it, let's say, for example, is one of those, payment softwares. But your payment software has a limit of 5,000 rupees. Now you are wishing for 30,000 rupees. You are praying for 30,000 rupees. Your target is 30,000 rupees. You are blessing 30,000 rupees. But your vessel, where you are going to receive that money, your vessel, your payment mechanism can only handle 5,000 rupees. Not a good idea, right? So what we need to do is also be aware. If we are asking for something, do we also have a utensil, a vessel that is ready for that? So that's what we're going to do today in working with our chakras. We're going to prepare our chakras to be in alignment with the goals that you have set for yourself in session one and hopefully beyond that as well. Okay. Also, planning also has to do with, and details also have to do with long and short term planning. So, long term planning, not too detailed, short term planning, more detailed, right? Make sense? Not the other way around. So, I hope that was useful. So, what we'll do is now we'll move on to the next part of our program. Let's be aware of our crown. Let's be aware of our heart. Let's raise our hands in blessing position. Let's bless everyone on the group with the ability to plan properly, with the ability to find the balance in details, with the ability to plan short term and long term, with the ability to change whatever we need to change. Inhale slowly, exhale slowly. Open your heart, open your crown. Let's bless everyone like we mean it. Okay, let's also bless ourselves. Of course, we have received blessings since everyone else is blessing us. Let's also bless ourselves. Let's be aware of our targets that we discussed in session number one. Let's bless our targets. Let's bless our targets with the right planning, the right detail. Let's bless our financial targets, our health targets, our relationship targets, and our spiritual targets. Let's bless everyone with the same. Let's also invoke to the Buddha Kuan Yin for her divine compassionate purifying light to enable the earth to overcome the coronavirus with grace, with the ability to change, to embrace the new world. Let's bless our projects, our homes, our workplace, and everyone in it. So let's bless our family, extended family. Let's bless our workplace, employer, employee, clients, helpers, everyone associated with our business or our work. Inhale and exhale. Let's bless our bankers, our financiers. Let's bless everyone. Inhale and exhale slowly. Okay. So we have so also let's just say thank you to the Supreme God for all the healing, and to Zankana and to myself for having been hopefully good instruments of healing for everyone, and encouraging more people to join us here on this forum to heal other people. Okay, so that's it. So thank you everyone for joining us today. For those of us who are watching this later on YouTube, please join us for our live sessions. We also have a self-pranic healing workshop next week. It's only 2 hours per day. So I would encourage all of us to learn, including those who have done Arhatic yoga, because we will be teaching some things that we don't even cover in Arhatic yoga. So it's a beautiful course. If you're already practicing or you've learned pranic healing and you're not too sure about practicing, then it's a good place to just do a quick review. And we'll be covering techniques for relationship solving. We'll be covering techniques to delay aging and also anti-aging, and lots of other cool things. Okay, so hope to see you next week at the workshop. And otherwise, please share it with other people. Let's spread pranic healing. May there be one pranic healer per family. Okay, so with that, thank you so much. We'll see you soon. On Tuesday is our next session. And of course, the Pranic Healing Workshop is also on Tuesday. Thank you. So the question regarding whether you can meditate if we have fever, My personal view is that yes, we can, as long as we know how to do pranic healing, and as long as we know how to check our chakras in the techniques that we have taught in basic pranic healing. So, as long as you know how to manage your chakras, it's okay to do the meditation. If you are someone who has never meditated before, then I wouldn't suggest you start when you have fever. And if you're not, if basically the point is that if you have the awareness of whether the doing the meditation in fever is working for you, then it's okay. If you have the feeling that it's not working for you, then it's not okay. Of course, in fever, the meditation that I tend to actually follow is the self-healing meditation, which we talk, yeah, about in the advanced pranic healing workshop. So that's the one that I tend to use in case I have fever. Okay. And how can we know if we have a tendency to go into details or not? Ask a few people around you. Just ask them what they feel if you're not sure yourself. Of course, the better way, of course, is to connect your tongue to palate and to be aware of what you are doing at all times. You can also do some scanning again on your chakras. And if some of your chakras are, not in balance, then you know that there is an issue with that particular chakra. In pranic healing, we actually also focus on just balancing all the chakras. That enables the person to function properly. So the point is not, do I have a very large, let's say, for example, throat chakra or Rajna chakra? The point is my, are all my chakras approximately the same size? And I'll use a quick example that I use a lot, which is that if you have a car, then the car has to have all four wheels have to be of the same size. If you have one airplane tire and you have one auto tire and two car tires, then your car is not going to move properly. Okay. So similarly with our chakras, they all need to be. It's more important that they are the same size than the fact that whether they are bigger or smaller. Okay. So I hope that helps. What else? How do we work on our spouse? There's something called the triangle technique in meditation or twin hearts. So if they are not doing the meditation with us or otherwise, what you can do is you can try doing the triangle technique with it. That video is available on our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is called Sheetal Jhunjhunwala. What else? Yeah, so you can just look that up, and then when you practice the next time, then you can just use that particular technique. It's called the triangle technique to help others with twin hearts meditation. Okay, I'm going to stop now. So see you guys soon. Bye.